Hey guys, Johannes here from E-ManGames with another BA deck profile. I haven't really touched BA the last couple of months. I've tried it here and there. I tried various combo versions of the deck with like the Cardmarket and stuff, and even though the first turn combos were really good, they were just super vulnerable. They were just straight up worse than all the other combo decks in the format. Um, on Thursday, I got messaged with the deck profile of the guy who topped the AGCS with Burning Abyss, and even though I didn't like a lot of things about his list, I liked the general idea, even though it wasn't really something new. But just seeing BA doing well made me want to play the deck again. So I spent one day on building a deck, and then played it yesterday a bit, and the deck was decent. It definitely wasn't or isn't the best deck. It's far from that. It's not even the best combo deck. All the other combo decks are basically better. But it's a decent tier 2 roguish deck. So yeah, I'll just start with the 1 Turgite, 3 Rhino, and 1 Mathematician. The guy who topped the AGCS played 3 Mathematician and 1 Rhino. However, I just feel like Rhino is basically the best card of the deck, because it works with all of your BA monsters, with all of your level 3 extenders that are Earth. It's one of the best, if not the best, card in the Burning Abyss archetype, and it's also Earth. So the synergies are just insane, and you always want to open Rhino. And it also makes you less dependent on, or less vulnerable to Ash if you hard draw this. Then I still played the 1 Mathematician, just because I wanted to have another normal summon. I wanted to have more Earth monsters and more consistency, and Mathematician just does all of that. You also have to play 1 Edge Imp, like even without Mathematician you'd have to play it. And like drawing Mathematician Rhino is fine, but drawing Mathematician with Turgite sucks, drawing Mathematician with Edge Imp sucks, and if you would play more Mathematicians, then drawing 2 Mathematician would also suck. So I think these as like your main normal summons are just more than enough. For the BAs, I played quite a big lineup, because BAs are now actually good again with the Cherubini, because Cherubini makes it okay to draw 3 BAs. So obviously Graf Seer, 2 Farfa, just because when you hard draw the 1 Farfa and you cannot put it back with the Saruja, it gets really weird, because your Beatrice just gets a lot worse, and drawing 2 Farfa is really unlikely, and even then it's not like you lose if you draw 2 Farfa. 1 Libic, 1 Skarm, 1 Alec, 1 Drakic, 1 Kalka, 1 Kagna, 1 Rubik, 1 Barba, so every single BA1, even though I'm not playing Hydrolander, but I'll come to that later. I still think it's correct to just play all different BAs, because their effects are pretty irrelevant, to be honest. Like, you're using those 4, and the rest are basically just vanillas. Like, Alec can come up, Barba can come up, but even stuff like Drakic isn't good in this deck, because you're not playing any dangers, and you're not playing dangers because the A's are good again, so you don't really need them. Also, they aren't, like, all the Earth monsters aren't good discards except the Block Dragon, so there's no really reason to play dangers, as they don't have really synergies with the deck. 3 Gallus, super insane card, just giving you 1 additional card to play with, or maybe even another Earth that you mill. It's just super strong. Also, the burn effect is still relevant. I played 2 of the tracker and 1 of the wheel dealer, I think is the English name. They aren't good. However, I had 39 cards that I liked, and I wanted to play a 40th card, so I just thought, well, I can play 2 Libic at first. However, I just realized that not having 3 Earth for the Block Dragon can really like break your neck, so I wanted to play another Earth card that also increases the consistency of the deck, so I just played the second one of those. I played this over this because the stats of this are better, and I'm not playing Synchros anyways. Then 3 Block Dragon, this card is so ridiculous. 3 Gigantes and 1 Rock Spirit, I think is the English name. I'm playing 3-1 because I'm not playing Hydrolander, and this is just better. Like, those are really insane. The block dragons are absurd, and drawing these it's not like bad. It's not ideal, but you never really complain if you draw 1 or 2. Drawing 3 or drawing 2 and milling 1 really sucks, because then you cannot really search off block dragon, you can only search on block dragon, but that's pretty unlikely. 3 Wyver Buster, 1 Collapse Serpent, that's something the guys from the AG didn't play, which I, to be honest, don't really understand. Like, drawing Black Dragon really sucks. It's pretty much a guarded. I tried to fix it to some degree, but it's still just a really bad draw that can really mess you up. But the white dragons are just so ridiculous, and they make it easier to go into Heretic Seal, which is some crazy cards format. Also makes it easier to go into Dwellers, so no reason not to play them in my opinion. And then also the 1 Destrudo, because I wanted something good to summon off the Heretic Seal. Also makes it easier to go into Heretic Seal. It can be level 3 or level 4, depending on what you still need. Last monster is 1 Trick Clone. For the main reason was it is light for the Black Dragon, and you can like set it off the Mathematician to make it more accessible. But the main reason was I wanted to be able to end on Beatrice with Trisbana and have a trigger for the Beatrice, so that's why I played this. And it's never like a bad draw, it's just outside of that application, it's just worth to play like those kind of bricky cards, but it's always okay. And then 3 seconds like 40 cards, obviously. I start with the extra deck, so you can understand the side deck better. 1 Dante, don't need more than 1 Dante. 1 Dweller, best rank 4, 1 Beatrice, best rank 6, best 3 Xyz in the game, don't quote me. 1 Cherubini, really great card. 1 Heretic Seal for the combo, 1 Underclock, the 2 Nightmares, and the Unicorn. Trisbana for Eradicator, which I've played in the side deck, and also the Trick-Hound play that I just showed, and can also be relevant in Timeout or against the Draco or Skystriker matchup. 1 Curious. Sending Block Dragon of Curious comes up quite often actually. You can also send like a Trick Clone to make the Black Dragon alive again, and then go into Heretic Seal Dweller. Also, you can also send Floodgates, which I started with this, and set them off Griffin. 1 Avramax, because Avramax is a good card in general, and there are also 2 really great crazy combos with this, which I will show off later. 1 Saruja and 1 Borsor. You really make this almost every time you combo off, and you need Borsor to kill them. For the side deck, I played 3 Gnome Material. So you have to play crazy hand traps. You decided this evening as Salamangreat because Dweller just kills you, and it happens to be nerfed, which is also pretty cool. 3 Lancia, Edith Light, which helps with Black Dragon. It just skips their turn and you can just kill them. And you can even summon this off Saruja, because when you have like Dweller with this, you don't really need this anyways, but when you summon it off the Saruja, it's just a 2k stick that makes it easy to kill them next turn. 1 Tornado Dragon. I just wanted to have more out against Mystic Mine, but also it's a really good card against all the matchups where Dwellers just isn't good, so Sub-Terror, Sky Striker, Altergeist, and so on. I think you have to play it somewhere, I just couldn't fit it in my extra deck. 1 Fossil Diner, you can search this off the Block Dragon, and you can hard lock the Orcust matchup and the Thunder Dragon matchup with a combo I thought of. So you can either summon, depending on your combo, you either summon Saruja here or here. Let's just say you summon it here, then you summon Crusadia Avramax on top of it, and then you use Saruja to summon this, and like they don't have a single out in their entire deck. Even for Salamangreat, it is okay to end on this. However, against Salamangreat, I'm not really focusing on going to this board because they have the Rage and the Impermanences. which the other combo decks just don't have against the other combo decks. Like, that's just game. I also played one Quacky Myro Dragon for Orchest and the other combo decks such as Thunder Dragon. You just end on a Heretic Seal, or you just try to end on a Heretic Seal, and then when you can summon this Heretic Seal, you just win, even though you got hand trapped. Then for the spells and the traps, which you sadly have to play because of Mystic Mine, 3 Eradicator, 1 Trap Trick. I just could get 1 Trap Trick, so I tried to find replacements, even though the replacements might happen to be better than playing more Trap Trick, because like Eradicator is just super strong going first, but going second, especially against like Altergeist and those kind of decks, it really isn't good anymore. So I played 1 Order, because you can also go for Order with the Curious Griffin thing. If your hand is really awful and you don't have access to any of those, you can still just go Curious, summon the Griffin. Ideally you go then with the Griffin and the Phoenix, or Griffin and Cerberus. Yeah, it's not really something you want to have to rely on, but on the other hand, if you don't have it, then you just lose the game anyways, and Order just gives you the chance to just like hard lock them and win this way. Last side the card was 1 Cyclone de la Galaxia. Just another out to mine. When you have Beatrice on board and they Mystic Mine you, you can just send this and have an out on your turn to the Mystic Mine. Also milling this off Dante is really strong, of course. That's the list. I wouldn't make any significant changes. The only thing I might consider is playing more Destrudos, because the Destrudo just really helps post side when they Lancia you, so you can still go into Dueller or the Heretic Seal, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. The reason I didn't play Hydrolander is because the deck can brick, and you just have so many cards, such as the Black Dragons, White Dragons, the Gigantes, Rock Spirit, Lock Dragon, Destrudo, that just required you to have like monsters in the graveyard, that I didn't want to play Hydrolander and have even more of those kind of cards, because if you have too many of those you can just brick with them. And consistency definitely is an issue with this deck. I think this build is really consistent. I only bricked once, I think, in the tournament. Otherwise I could still, even with like really bad hands, still end on like something like Dueller, Suja, Beatrice or something like that. Lancia really just destroys this deck, but other than that the deck is fine. Like Lancia was the only thing that made me want to play Hydrolander, but if you get Lancia, like 1 Hydrolander just never is enough. It really just isn't. So I didn't feel like it was necessary to play it. I didn't really think it would solve the issues of the deck, even though it's a really good card now, because with the addition of Cherubuni, you can use the Hydrolander on your first turn by just trying to destroy a monster that is in the zone of Cherubuni, and because of Cherubuni's effect can't get destroyed. But yeah, feel free to try out the deck. Let me know what you think about the deck and also BA in the current format. As I said, I don't think it's really strong, but it's definitely a decent pick for locals, maybe for smaller tournaments in the region. You can definitely feel free to try it out. It's definitely fun to play, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and check us out on Cardmarket. See you guys next time.